What's going on? This is Tori Kravitz, and welcome back to another episode of She's the Band here on Knotfest. We've got a real special one today. I'm joined by Camille of Novelists. How are you?
Hello, I'm really good, and you?
Good, good. I am so excited to be talking to you today.
I'm so happy to be here because I was really, I cannot with these boys. I wanted to go out from this venue, so I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yeah, you're on a headliner right now in the UK with The Word Alive, and who else is on the tour?
Edward Stray and Ashen.
Yeah, so big boys club on the tour.
Yeah, we are 20 in the bus. So
Wow. So do you get a lot of breaks kind of to yourself to just kind of do your girl thing, or is it just 24/7?
Yeah, it's 24/7. I don't have intimacy. Mm-hmm. Actually, this is the hardest part, but all the boys are really, really nice with me, so it's really cool.
Good. Well, no matter what, your winged eyeliner's still on point, so they haven't gotten to you yet.
Thank you.
But what I'm really excited about too is I think you are such a brave and powerful frontwoman. We have so much to dive into as far as the history of novelists and you coming into the band. But before we even dive into that, what I found normally before I go into an interview, I'm like, let me look up previous interviews. I'm going to go online and find all this information. And you are quite an anomaly. I couldn't find too much online. So I would just love to start with knowing your background as a musician. What's your history as an artist?
Okay, yes, that's true that I'm anonymous. I started music when I was 7 years ago. I did piano and violoncello.
Yeah,
I played in an orchestra, and when I was 18, I did a punk hardcore band. I was only screaming in this band.
Yeah.
Then we split this band 5 years after, and I started a pop music band with Nico from Landmarks. It was a duo, mm-hmm. Only guitar and voice, and I was only I was only singing actually, in clean voices. And in 2019, Novelists contacted me to do all the harmonies for their album called C'est la vie. So I went to Paris and I did all the harmony vocals for the album. And at the end of the session, the boy just asked me, do you want to do a feature on the song C'est la vie? I was like, yes, of course, with pleasure. So I did this feature. Then we shot the music video of this song. And then, life was going on. I was just living in Marseille, working and doing music just for myself. And last summer, Nico was in Marseille, Nico from Novelists.
Yes.
And he asked me, can we go drink something outside? I want to talk to you about something. I was like, yeah, of course.
And that sounds mysterious. You
I
must have been what is this about?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought he wanted us to create a rock band. Like a Paramore style. But I didn't want to. I was like, I hope he's not gonna ask me to do a rock band because now I'm doing my solo thing in French and I don't know. And then he just asked me, okay, do you want to be the singer of Novelists? I was like, what?
Well, quite the plot twist, isn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't really believe that. And then we tried some music session together just to see if I can fit in the band, in the old songs, in composing new songs also. And after three weeks or 1 month, the boys called me. It was a FaceTime call. I remember it was the girlfriend of my brother's birthday, and I get the call and I tell to my family, okay, I need to get this call. They are going to tell me if I'm in the band or no. And they tell me, okay, we want you in the band. And here I am.
And what was your reaction to that call? What was your immediate?
Well, actually, they were not really... okay, I'm coming from south of France. Mm-hmm. So I'm really expressive. When I'm happy, I'm really happy. And they are from north of France. And they don't have this kind of attitude to be really expressive. So I didn't know if it was a real yes or we still figure it out. And at the end I said, but is it a yes or is it a no? And they told me it's a yes. And I was like, okay, so cool.
That's so nuts. Wow. I mean, you must have really impressed them then when you were doing that feature and just kind of working with them a little bit for it to get to that point. I mean, obviously you're amazing, so I'm not surprised. But
Thank you.
that's really, really cool. And do you find that, I mean, the fact that you play cello and you were playing in an orchestra, does that stuff ever come into play when you're working with novelists? I mean, that because that's such a great skill to have.
Actually, on the last song, "Morning the Dawn," I played cello in this song, but it's really low. You can hear it better on live because the cello are higher. But yeah, I played violoncello for this song.
Wow. See, I played violin when I was younger.
So cool.
And I stopped because I was like, well, I can't play any cool music on the violin. But you're proving me wrong with the cello. It turns out I could be in a metal band and play my violin. Maybe I'll get back into it. Yeah. I'll hit you up if you ever need a violin feature once I brush off the dust.
Cool. I call you.
Yeah, thanks. But when it comes to like heavy music, obviously you've been in a couple of projects that are rock adjacent. You were screaming in your first band. What were those gateway artists for you that got you into heavy music?
Okay, so it was only hardcore band for the start, for the beginning, and actually in Marseille there were this band called We Ride. It's a Spanish hardcore band, and the front was a girl. And I saw her live in a show near Marseille. And when I saw her, I was like, okay, I want to do like her. I want to be her. Like she was so small, like so tiny.
Yeah.
And like she was doing like this, and all the crowd was coming to her, screaming her lyrics. And I was like, okay, I want to be like her. Then, of course, Hayley Williams from Paramore. She's really an inspiration for all the energy, and her voice is like so beautiful. She's perfect on live. I don't think that she's using auto-tune, and she really sounds perfect. While headbanging, she can sing everything. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, these two girls were my inspiration, and also like multiple hardcore bands like Have Heart and Verse. Okay, you know.
Oh yeah.
This album is like perfection for me. Yeah,
That is so cool. And I love that you've mentioned how you went to that hardcore show and you just said that I want to do that, because that just shows how important it is to be that example. And like, it must be cool for you now being the front woman of Novelists and knowing that there could be young girls in the crowd who see you and now you are that person.
Yeah.
That's very full circle.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. It's also, it needs to be said, like you with your dance moves and the fact that you can sing so beautifully going into those heavy vocals, like you're such a great example of diversity in your skills too.
I'm trying to give the example, but trying to stay humble also. But yeah, in this tour, there was like 2 or 3 girls that came at the merch at the end, and they told me that like, I want to be like you. I want to be cool. I want to sing in a band. I was like, go girl. Like, we need more representation in this industry. So.
It's so true. I mean, that's the whole reason for this podcast. Anybody who says there's not enough women, I'm like, well, look at this podcast and all the episodes we've got, and I haven't even scratched the surface. So it's so true. Like, representation's everything. And what I really thought was cool too was when Novelists had announced that you were coming into the band. I need to read the exact quote here. They said in the statement, they called you an unexpected lifeline that revived the band. Yeah. That's quite the statement. And it really is such a change of pace having you coming into the project and bringing all of your talents, your dancing, which I definitely want to talk more about too. You are phenomenal. But as far as what women can bring to metal, you being an example of how you've taken this band and turned it into like a totally new breath of fresh air, what do you think that we can contribute to heavy music that makes it unique and bring, especially for you, a novelist? What do you think you've brought that changed things up?
Well, in the history of Novelists, I think there were also feeling maybe exhausting of trying to find singers or trying to stay over the years. And when I arrived, I just had my how to say it, like I had energy and I just everything was new for me, so I was happy about everything. Like doing one thing that they are really used to was my first time, so I was like a child, to be honest, for everything. And I think they were missing that,
they
fresh air.
They felt that energy, like it was probably contagious.
Yeah, they're always telling me that, like when they are feeling sad or on the tour, like they are used to this venue, they are used to that. I'm like, I'm so excited to be here. Wow, I can't believe that. And they just feel it, and they change their mood also.
I mean, I guess after so much time as a band, you can get kind of jaded, or I don't want to say take for granted, but you kind of just get
Yes,
into a
but that's true.
routine.
Yeah.
So for them to see you, it probably reminds them how special what they're doing is, right?
Yeah.
And just brings that into the whole
Yeah.
sphere. I could see how that'd be really rejuvenating.
Yeah, I'm always telling them that we really have the chance to do what we are doing. I know that they know that, but sometimes they take things for granted, as you said, and that's bad because we are still lucky to be here.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many up and coming artists who would do anything to be in this position. I mean, headlining in the UK right now, and really being like an international act. It's yeah. And I know when kind of soon after the announcement happened that you came into the band. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, you're the first female frontwoman of the project. Before that, it was all guys. So there's quite an adjustment period, which I know you acknowledge online. Like, it's a bit of a change, and you know, people might need a moment. So what was kind of your initial reaction to the feedback you were getting, and how has that evolved over time?
I'm so happy you asked me that.
Let's go.
Actually, I really understand all the reactions. Like, if I was a fan of a band and a fan of the singer, or the original singer, and the singer is changing, I can totally understand that. I feel sad if the singer is changing, but I'm the new singer, and I really want to be there, and I want to share emotions and do music with Novelists and be part of this group. So like, I think half of the people that loved Novelists left, and half new people came to this new project. It's really like, we can see it on the statistic of like Instagram account, for example. We didn't lose like, the balance is positive, but really small. We lose a lot of followers that didn't want didn't want a new singer, and especially didn't want a female singer.
Which, that's a problem they need to figure out for themselves.
Yeah.
Look inside a little.
Yeah, because I think that they didn't react as hard as they reacted for the change with Tobias.
Right.
Because he was a male. And I don't think it's unfair, but yeah, a little bit, actually.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfair, but I never took anything personally, to be honest, because for me, like, I don't know these people. They are just writing behind a computer, behind the screen, and for me, this is not real. Like, come to the show, come to see me live, and then you will tell me if I'm too weak to be a front girl. And during this tour, I had like 10 people that came at the end of the show telling me, okay, I was really skeptic before coming to the show, but you totally changed my mind. And that was like the best compliment ever. I was like, okay, I want to tell people that left Novelist crowd, come to the show. You will see it's different, but it's still good energy, and you will like it.
That is so, I mean, what great feedback, like you said.
Yeah.
I guess this is something that has always fueled me personally in my career, so I want to ask you too. Have you, you know, as women, we're often underestimated. So do you feel like an extra amount of excitement to get on stage knowing that you're proving that to people?
Yeah.
That you're worthy of being up there?
I think I need to prove more than any other male singer.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. Like, because I know that they are all wrong, thinking that being a female front singer is not enough. Yeah. But I know I can prove them, and it's happening now. Like, people are coming after the show to tell me, like, okay, I was wrong. You did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing you talk about this, I could almost visualize like that moment before going on stage, like the fire you must feel.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna show them tonight, you know?
Really, yeah, it's really like that.
It's great that you think that way too, because that's so much more empowering than putting yourself down about the comparisons.
Yeah,
like
I really don't care about the comparison.
Yeah,
it's really giving me more energy than putting me down.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see how comparing you is a natural thing that humans do. But at the same time, do you think it might be more productive for them to almost look at it not as a new band, but sort of as a new chapter? Like, look at it as almost a separate thing? or because it's tough because you're still playing older songs. So how do you find that balance?
Well, actually, I don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm just covering old songs,
Yeah.
but making them on my way.
Right.
And a lot of people also are telling us that old songs look like they were fitting for me, like they fit for me. So actually, I don't think too much about that. I just want to go on stage, having a lot of fun and giving a lot of love and energy to the crowd.
Yeah, I mean that's the best thing you could do with those
Yeah.
older tracks is just do your best to make them your own and have fun with it because you can't replicate them perfectly, but it's like your own spin adds a new value to the songs. At
exactly.
least the way I see it,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did want to talk about your dancing because
Cool.
first of all, in the Turn It Up video, you are getting down.
Yeah.
You are amazing. And I loved the reel where you were posting. It was like a montage of all your hobbies where you posted about the cello and tennis and dancing and just being so athletic and so creative in so many different avenues. Have you found that has really enhanced your contributions into the project?
I don't know if it enhancing my skills, but we are having fun with the boys of Novelists because when I have to go to the studio to do a music session, I'm always telling them, okay, but I need to leave at 7 because I have tennis, then I have dance, and they're telling me that I have like Paris school activities, like if I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
But actually, it enhances my competitivity. I'm really a competitive person for any game. Like we can play cards. I really want to win.
I can't play cards with you then because I'm
You too.
super competitive. We would probably be very scary together.
For sure.
But it's a good thing. I think it's very exciting to like compete in that way. How did you get into all of these things? Because I feel like as an adult, it can be kind of hard to find hobbies and things like that as you get older.
That's true. I started when I was 7 years old or maybe 5 years old for dancing. I did classic dance for 2 years when I was 5 years old. Then I stopped because I needed to choose between tennis and dance. And I started again dancing at 21 years old.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and we were a lot of girls and men and boys doing dancing, and that was really cool. I had like a dance family, and in the Turn It Up music video, the dancers are all my friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and they just came for this music video.
Yeah, and did you find, especially with choreographing for heavier music, did you do the choreography for that? Because
No.
I wouldn't think to.
We did with the boy in the video. His name is Rémi. We did the choreography both, but he's the best. Like he did almost a whole choreography, and then I just added something. But he's really talented to create dance moves, and he wasn't scared of heavy music. Because usually he's dancing on pop music or dancehall or Afro, like.
But I guess Turn It Up as well, even though it is heavier, it has a really good melody.
Yeah.
It's still very danceable.
Yeah,
so you
that's
kind
true.
of found that balance between being a little poppy and sing along, but also,
Yeah,
hits.
exactly. I had so much fun dancing on Turn It Up. It was my first time really dancing on and screaming at the same time.
Yeah.
But I really had a lot of fun, and I liked that we shocked a little bit with this first music video. Like, okay, it's a girl and they are dancing, and this is a little bit pop. Like, okay, we give you all the shock now, and then take your time.
So true. I hadn't even thought about that. You just hit us with a double whammy of choreography in a metal video and a new singer. You just got it all out of the way.
Everything at the same time.
That is so good. Yeah, now there's nothing else anyone could say.
No.
If you had something to say, that video was the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And with Turn It Up, that was a part of, would you call it an EP, Morning the Dawn, or just kind of like a single, like a little
For the moment,
songs?
yeah, we actually don't know ourselves if it's an
Whatever you
EP.
call it.
We are trying to do like a trilogy.
Okay.
So three songs, but we are going to make an album this year. We don't know when, but we will.
That was one of the bits of information I did find online, which I was very excited to see.
There will be something this year.
Yeah. So when it came to Morning the Dawn, how much of involvement did you have in the kind of behind the scenes of the creative process? Because obviously it was your first time singing with the band. Were you also involved in the writing process? What was that like collaborating with them for the first time?
We collaborate on every songs that we released with me singing.
Cool.
I'm not doing the instrumental, except actually I'm doing the violoncello, and I composed these lines, but most of it the lyrics and the melody. But the guys are also helping me a lot with the melody and the lyrics too. So everyone is putting something in the creation of the songs.
That's really cool to know that you weren't just kind of plopped into the project as a singer, that you were fully thrown into the creative process.
Yeah, to be honest, at the beginning, I was a little bit scared that maybe my opinion will not count. But since the beginning, all the boys were like really, when I was trying to say something, they were like, okay, we listen to you. What do you want to say? And we will hear you and consider it. And I really like that.
I mean, that's so important. It's to come into a new project with a bunch of guys who've been working together for so long. If that wasn't the case, it would have been a really tough transition.
Yeah,
so it's good that you started on the right foot.
Yeah.
And so back to this new album that's coming this year. What is there anything that you want to explore musically, or anything you didn't get to do on that small release that you want to really dive into?
A lot of people told us that it was different from before, and this is exactly what we want to do. We want to do music with our soul, and we were talking about that like a week ago with the boys, that we want to disappoint people. Because if you're not disappointing people, it means that you're not creating something and you're just doing the same thing as before.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we want to disappoint you guys.
That is such a funny way to put it, but it's true. It's like if you're not a little bit surprised by a new release, you're going to get bored real quick.
Yeah. So we are really preparing different things.
Can you give me any hints?
Maybe a choir.
Whoa, okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're just really going all out then.
Yeah.
So are you working on it now, or is there kind of a timeline?
We are working on that on the tour bus, but it's really hard to be focused when there is a lot of noise and a lot of people. But in March we will be filming a music video. I'm giving you too much information.
Wow. Thank you for the trust. So it'll come out for a little while, so we're safe.
Cool.
And I do want to talk about the fact that you're from France as well, because I think that is so awesome. I mean, me, like every American ever that's been over to France. I went to Paris once and I loved it. But I think what I really want to ask you too is, Europe in itself has such an incredible rock and metal scene. As an American, I'm very envious of the festivals you guys get on that side of the world. Yeah. So why do you think there's such a great metal scene in that part
in
of the
France?
World? Yeah.
I don't really know why, but I know that there is a lot of bands from France in this moment that are really rising.
I mean, some of my favorites are from there, including Novelists.
Yeah,
you know?
Thank you. But yeah, I think we have a lot of opportunities to play on shows. It's not too far. We can go by car, by van, and also I think it's a small world because we know each other well, and I think it's easier also to give some advices to your friends band. Yeah, I think it's easier for that. And then I don't know, I'm sure there is a lot of cool band in US also.
There we got some. We're not doing too bad. I was gonna say we have Nickelback, but they're Canadians, so I have to think on that again, and I'll get back to you. But we do have some good
bands. I'm sure.
Are there any like really amazing shows or bands that you've been able to discover over in France?
Discover, well, I knew them before, but Landmarks are really my close friend, and I'm so amazed by their talent. Like they never stopped, and they are also always changing things. They're not doing the same thing as before, and I really admire that.
Yeah, no, they're great too. Yeah, for sure. Well, we've gotten to the last portion of the interview. We actually have a jaw-dropping segment. We do 4 questions with every single artist.
Okay.
And it's your turn. So
Okay.
are you ready?
Let's go.
So the first one here is the most jaw-dropping experience you've ever had at a show. Now, this could be one you've played or one you've just attended as a fan.
What means Jojo?
So jaw-dropping, like something that makes you go,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So ask me your question again.
so the most moment you've ever had at a show.
My first ratata, and when I just give the mic
Yeah.
to the. This is the question you wanted.
Yeah,
to ask?
sure. Well, something that like has made you either really surprised or shocked.
But being on stage or being on a crowd.
Either way, just whatever the best story you have is from a show.
Okay, my first show with Novelists was like that when I saw all these people coming to see us, and I was like, and they were knowing the lyrics of every new song, and I was like, no way, they are coming to see us.
Oh, yeah. So what was that like? I want to dive into that, like that first show with Novelists. Like the pre-show, how were you feeling when you got up there? What was the initial reaction from fans? All of it.
It was in Lyon, so in France.
Yep.
Before the show was so stressful. I was so stressed, if I can tell the world. Yeah, it was a lot of stress. Because now I don't feel stressed anymore. Like, I'm so happy to be on stage, but my first was really like, I need to prove that I belong here.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. And after, the reaction was amazing. Like, we did a bet with Pierre, the guitarist, because he told me, you're going to sign, how do you say, like sign autograph?
Oh, yeah.
And I told him, no, nobody's going to ask me that. Like, nobody knows me, so it cannot happen. And the first person to came at the merch asked me to sign something. I was like, okay, I had to give you a restaurant. Yeah. And yeah, people were so nice with me, actually.
Yeah.
Nicer than in the comment on YouTube.
I love
These
that.
haters wasn't at the show.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They're so loud online, but you won't see them.
No, never.
They don't really matter.
Yeah.
It's those people in front of you that are asking for the autograph at the show and know the words. Those are the ones that matter, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have your signature ready?
No. The 21st signature that I made was horrible. It was really horrible. And my boyfriend was there at my first show. And after the 20th signature, he told me, girl, you need to do something with your signature. It's really ugly.
Oh, he didn't hold back, did he?
No, like, please do something. I was like, okay, I'm trying to write something else.
So anyone who got one of those first few autographs, it's not the same
No,
now.
it's limited edition.
Limited edition. There we go. I like that. Well, it's good to know that you've kind of found your lane and found your confidence since that first show,
Yeah.
and those nerves are gone now. So
Now I'm feeling so comfortable and happy about that.
love that. And now the next one we have here, the most jaw-dropping.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it. The most jaw-dropping misstep or like mistake early in your career and the lesson that you learned from it. Could be pre-novelists as well.
Mistake. I don't think there is any mistake except real mistake on the show, like forgetting lyrics.
Yeah.
And didn't know how to get back to the lyrics and looking at the boys like, how are we gonna do?
I would find that so overwhelming as well because the music keeps going and you have to kind of like find
and
the place of the song.
I
again.
couldn't find. I was just dancing and smiling to people, and then I get back to the lyrics, but it was a long solitude moment.
Well, those are the things that people don't think of when it comes to being a really great performer, are those moments where you have to really think on your feet and find your way after a little fumble like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to be comfortable with something that you didn't do for years. Like,
Right.
it's less than a year that I'm doing really big shows and touring. I've never did that before. I'm also thinking another mistake I made. So we've got in-ear system.
Yeah.
And I need to talk between songs. so I'm always improvising things, and I wanted to thank our crew, like the sound guy and the light guy, and I start to talk, and the music started, and I was like, "Thank you, Tom." Do 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 do. I was like, "Okay, shit, I missed that."
That's funny. So did you just cut? All right, we're going in
I was like,
to the song.
Dame Juan Pascal. I said all the name really quick, and the song was playing, and now the boys are always doing this joke.
Oh, that's not nice. Well, the next one we have here is the most jaw-dropping female artist that you would love to work with, like your dream collaboration.
Like
you can name a few. Anybody.
Wow.
Think big.
Billie Eilish.
Oh,
Because I know she loves metal or hardcore music.
yeah.
Yeah, and Hayley Williams, of course. I would love to share a song with them.
Yeah. Billie Eilish, that's so true. Like, I never think about the fact that I think she's low key, like a scene girl.
Yeah.
She's one of us.
Yeah, of course she is.
And Haley, classic, of course.
Yeah.
And the last one we have here is the most jaw-dropping misconception about you that you wish people understood. So, like, a misunderstanding or something you want people to know.
That I'm not a mistake of being the new singer of Novelists, that they chose me. Yeah, and that Novelist now is different, and it's not because I'm here that it's gonna be less heavy or less good.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, like you said, there might be a bit of a turnover rate of those fans that don't want to be a part of it anymore. But at the same time, there's so much growth in the project now. Like this fresh start where you're reaching new audiences and empowering women too. And I mean, anyone who wants to be involved. I mean, to be honest, even me personally, like I hadn't listened to Novelists that much. And now Turn It Up keeps coming up on my playlist. And I'm just like, man, this rips. This is awesome.
Thank you.
So you have a fan in me. And I
Thank
hope
you.
that misconception is just wipe that out. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to mention or chat about before we head out of here?
No, just thank you for this girly moment. I really need that.
Of course. I hope, you know what, you girlies need to come out to the show. She needs you all out here.
Yeah, even talking with girls at the end of the show makes me feel better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's an understanding, especially when it comes to heavy music, that we go through our own experiences that guys just won't understand. And that's okay.
Even being a girl in a crowd is hard. It's harder than being a male. So, yeah, girls, come at the show.
I mean, I joke all the time. Whenever I'm at a metal show and I'm in the crowd, at least one guy usually, has to come up and ask me about my tattoos. So we all have this understanding.
Yeah.
So we need to stick together.
Yeah.
Keep it safe.
Yeah, of course.
Keep it happy for everybody. Well, thank you so much. This has been such a good chat. And everybody who's watching, if you're not listening to Novelists, get on it and stay here on Knotfest. We've got new episodes every other week. She's with the band. Make sure you're following on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this right now. And thanks for being here. Catch you next time.
Thank you. Bye.